This is how in Nairobi some people make millions by working smarter, not harder. If you want to make millions in Nairobi, start an NGO that is related to human rights or human sympathy. Let's say taking care of the elderly, taking care of the vulnerable, taking care of the poor. I'll give two examples. The first one is, I used to have a video camera, Panasonic M3500. Those days, you would shoot raw and give it to a client. If the client is happy the way it is, but if the client wants it edited and maybe placed their subtitles and so on, the client would go to a studio and pay more. So here I was, somebody hired me to go to Kibra and record. These people are good because hakuna kubagain. You just say your amount, expecting, you know the Kenyan system, if you want to sell something at 300 shillings, you start from 500 so that somebody brings you down to 300. And then he asks you how much you want, you say 500, expecting him to push you down to 300, but he adds you 100 to make it 600. That is just a figure that I gave for you to understand. So we went to Kibra, and you know in Kibra, in 1 square kilometer, there is around 100,000 people, and there are 100 different NGOs within that. So per 1,000 people, one NGO. Out of the 100, maybe 3 or 4 know each other. And out of 100, maybe 20 are the ones which are based in Kibra. Others are based outside Kibra. Somebody is staying in Buruburu, living a very fine life. Now this is what happened. I went there. The fellow had also hired, you know, he hired three things. Hired me, I'm cameraman. Later on, he hired a studio to do the editing and titling and everything. And that is the second one. The third one, he hired outside catering people. With the outside catering people, each had an overall or a dust coat that was written the name of that NGO, that one-man NGO. Kitchen department of this NGO. After doing that, he said that he was expecting 300 people to eat. You know, this outside catering, they ask you how many plates. Say 300. Now what happened was you'd line up, get a plate. I don't know who came up with this idea that in any social meeting, wedding, funeral, birthday, graduation, you are given a plate. It has chapati here, it has rice, it has mokimo, it has whatever. I don't really like that. They should have all those things, but someone should just choose one meal. This thing of having one chapati, a scoop of rice, a scoop of mokimo. Then from there, everybody's given 2 oranges, 1 banana, and 1 soda plastic container. After getting that, the person eats and goes. Now, you know, getting 300 people in Kibra in a second is very easy. And this outside catering people just come in a second, you can collect 300 people or even more. After these people have eaten, they go, and our work is over. Now this video, after being recorded, the NGO writes to his sponsor abroad and says that I sponsor 300 people monthly. The 300 people eat 3 meals a day. Then a month has 30 days. 300 people, 3 meals a day, 30 days. Now whatever he has spent on that day, just one, it means he's going to get 90 in every month until I don't know when. That is a clever way of getting money, isn't it? Supposing, I'm only supposing, that a plate was 500 shillings. Not 500, 200. A meal, a soda, 2 fruits, and 2 fruits, yeah. Let's say 200. 200 times 300, that is 60,000. 60,000 times 3, that is 180,000 times 3, times 30. 1.8, that is around 4 M per month. There is another angle where people are making millions, and I remember it was during the Chomli. You know, Chomli died after killing 2 people. The second person was a Maasai, and for those of you who doubted my video on seeing a ghost, Chomli, a month before he died, the Maasais had a ceremony where they cursed the killer of their fellow Maasai and said, let him not see the end of this year. Coincidentally, because that is what you want to say, coincidentally, that same month is when Chomli died. Now, when Chomli died is when I used to go to town, to CBD, all the way from, I can say Kawangware Sokoni, although it's a few distance from, okay, for those who know where Paramount Chief Kinyanjui is buried, from there, but we can just say Kawangware Sokoni up to the CBD. I had around 5 ways of walking to town. One was go all the way to Mudangari police station. Then from there, go to Wayaki Way to CBD. The second one, I would reach just near Mudangari police station. Then take the Strathmore route all the way to Chiromo and on to town. That is the second. The third one was to go through Methodist Guest House. Then from Methodist Guest House, the road, the Loitoktok road had not been tarmacked to Kilelesho. So I'd reach somewhere there, cross the river, go to Royal Media Citizen TV area that way, past State House, CID, up to town. That was the third road. The fourth was Ngong Road. Just follow Ngong Road all the way to town. Then in town, I would tell somebody, 1 or 2 people, that lunch and fare back. And you see, being given lunch, money and fare, you use just one fare and the other one is, you understand. One day, somebody took me to a heavy lunch, and the second person also took me to a second heavy lunch. I had an uncomfortable. But as the stories, the Nation, Daily Nation, you know, they take long for your story to appear. You just see me with so many articles in the Nation. You have to go there very many times, and they have to counter check. They have to do what, and then at the end of the day, they'll tell you your story is ready, and we expect it to be early next month. Just make sure nothing happens, because some things may happen and they take the headlines and your story is forgotten, or your story is kept aside pending that thing to go, and by the time that thing goes, your story is already stale. So one day during the Chomli time, I went and saw somebody in the human rights organization and asked him for the fare back. He said, I'm sorry, today usipopata mtu mwingine kukusaidia fare, leave the CBD at 3 p.m. so that by 7 you are back home. As he was escorting me to go to the Nation Media Center, we reached this Kencom place and we found a lot of people. There was a demonstration. There was the demonstration. People are complaining about Chomli killing again. This fellow told me to rush back to. We rushed back to his office. He went and collected cameras and whatever, and T-shirts. Now the T-shirts were written in the name of his organization. He came, found some of the people in the demonstration, gave them those T-shirts. The people put them on. Then he started recording he had his own cameraman. He stood where the people were with his T-shirts, and they started demonstrating. As they were demonstrating, it was being recorded. Demonstration had about over 5,000 demonstrators. Now, of the 5,000 demonstrators, we had around 10 different NGOs dealing with human rights. And these NGOs, each one claimed to have organized that. But I'll concentrate on my friend's NGO. During that demonstration, he also pulled me in and said, now you'll not walk. I'll get you fare. So I participated in the demonstration with the T-shirts of his organization. After that, he went back to the office. This was now around 5:30, where he recorded that he had organized for the demonstration, and out of the 5,000 people who were there, 1,000 were his people, and each of the 1,000, each went with 500. He had a clean 500,000. Then from there, he took me to Uchumi supermarket, did a heavy shopping for me, and I boarded a bus plus some pocket money. That is how people make money. I'm very sure, although I'm not supposed to say it, I'm very sure that if the Kenya police or the government does its work the way it is supposed to do, within the structures of human rights and whatever, a lot of people in the human rights world will lose their jobs. Thank you.